Okay. Um, Sorry, y'all. I had to pause my video for a second so that I could go and look at some birth dates. So, because I was saying that October is a very hard month for my husband and my daughter and I because my husband's older brother, who passed away in January of 2015, his birthday is October 1st. He would have been 44 years old if he was still alive today. My husband's father, so my father in law, who passed away in 2019, his birthday is on October 30th, and he, if he were still here, would have been 65. So my husband has two family members, both with birthdays in October, both of whom have since passed away, and these were immediate family members. It's not like these were cousins or second cousins or nieces and nephews or aunts and uncles that he, wasn't seeing all the time. These were his brother and his father, both of whom have passed away, both of whom had birthdays in October. One, his brother, was born on October 1st, 1981, and passed away in 2015. So he would have been celebrating his 44th birthday if he were still alive today. His father, my father-in-law, who was born on October 30th, 1960, if he were still around today, would have been turning 65 on October 30th. Okay, needless to say, October is not a really good month for my husband. It's not a good month for anybody in my in-laws' side of the family because they all retreat into themselves on those two very specific days, as well as the dates of the passings of both individuals. So for my brother-in-law, that would be in January. I don't remember the exact date that my brother-in-law died, but it was in January of 2015. He passed away due to untreated sleep apnea. So if you have loved ones or friends that struggle with sleep apnea, if they do not have equipment, please urge them to go to their doctor and get tested for it because it is fatal and it can be fatal, especially if it's not treated. My father-in-law passed away on December 7th of 2019 due to a heart attack. He was living in a nursing home, so due to medical issues, he was in an assisted living / nursing facility. But he had a heart attack in December of 2019, and that's how he passed away. But regardless of when they died, both individuals had October birthdays. The friend who doesn't like having birthdays acknowledged or talked about doesn't like having anything to do with Halloween. As she states, it is spiritistic, meaning that she believes that they have evil origins. They don't. They don't. In fact, she is misinterpreting a lot of what she is telling us because I've done the research. Both her and her mom actually are very much so misinterpreting the Bible and trying to pass it off as being factual, and it's not. So along with not wanting birthdays celebrated or anything to do with Halloween, they know they don't even want anything to do with Christmas, which, as we all know, if you read the Bible, it does talk about how that's the whole Christmas story, you know, that's found in Luke, the book of Luke. I don't remember the exact verses, no, but I do know it's the book of Luke. It's talking about the birth of Jesus Christ, which happened to be around, or what we know as Christmas. She wants nothing to do with that. She doesn't want anything to do with Halloween. She wants nothing to do with birthdays. I don't know where her beliefs lie around the topic of Easter, which in Easter is right around the time of the death and resurrection, and oh my goodness, is that pretty. The death and resurrection of Jesus Christ was right around Easter. Now they do celebrate and they do commemorate and honor his resurrection, which I find hilarious, because you'll sit there and you'll say, we don't celebrate birth, we don't celebrate this, that, or the other, but you'll celebrate the rising from the dead of Jesus Christ. The other thing I find funny is, you know, she doesn't believe in a lot of stuff, but she has mentioned to me on more than one occasion, and this is why I keep staring out my window, is because, let me see if I can't, if y'all look right there, see that? That's a cardinal. She has stated to me on numerous occasions that every time she sees a cardinal, she says that the cardinal is one of her grandparents coming to visit her. But wait a minute. You don't believe that people are actually dead. Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe people actually died. They just believe that they go and they're gone. Well, if they go and they're gone, why are you believing that a cardinal is essentially your deceased's loved one's soul reincarnated in a physical being? Because trust me, I've seen plenty of cardinals floating around this yard since we've been here. Property, rather, since we've been here. I've seen plenty of cardinals. So it just makes me very, very weary of the fact that, first of all, you're sitting there, you're trying to dictate what somebody can and cannot wear. And then you're trying to dictate whether or not somebody can celebrate their birthday or a holiday. Which, believe me, that is the one thing. We have 40, I believe we're at 40 days now. 40 days. So just over a month until we leave. And you're going to sit there and say that we can't celebrate birthdays, we can't celebrate holidays, you don't want anything to do with Halloween or ghosts or goblins or zombies, or my Kaylee is still really into Monster High, which, if you don't know what Monster High is, it's a cartoon that came out, and it kind of revolves around the children of like all of these fictional monsters like Dracula, Cleopatra, a mummy, and I know Cleopatra is not a monster, but you know, it is what it is. So she wants nothing to do with that in her house, and it's like, dude, she's literally sat there and tried to say that if Kaylee was gonna watch it on her phone, Kaylee had to have headphones on so she couldn't hear it. So we've just told Kaylee, you know, for the time being, until we leave and go to Nanny and Papa's, which is my parents. She calls my parents Nanny and Papa. I said for the time being, until we go to Nanny and Papa's, if you're going to watch stuff like that on your phone on YouTube, put your headphones in so she can't hear it. Because that was the other thing I Googled yesterday. My husband and I went to Walmart for something, and I Googled on the phone. I said, can a homeowner dictate what their guests watch or listen to on the guests' personal devices? And Google came back and said no. They don't have the right to dictate what somebody uses their own personal device for. The friend's mom, I did make the friend's mom aware that we are leaving November 3rd. So she does know that we're leaving. Which means that November 3rd, Cindy's not getting any rent. Or Cindy's not getting it. The friend is not getting any rent because we need all of November's check to go back home. Now, the reason we're waiting until November 3rd to leave instead of leaving on November 1st, like what she originally wanted, is because November 3rd is when the 3rd of the month is when we would typically get the food stamps. We need food and drinks so that we can travel. Give me just 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry. I had to take off my sweatshirt because like I said, I've been sitting in the car. It did get warm, so I took off my sweatshirt. Or I should say the sweatshirt that I've been wearing. Now, this shirt that I've been wearing and my pants here, these were given to me, as in she didn't like the way they laid on her body and said, you can have them. Articles of clothing from the friend, the ex-girlfriend. Just fixing a tag there. So these are mine to do with as I please and as I see fit. The top that I was wearing yesterday when I recorded yesterday was actually the top that goes to those pajama pants. But because of how it was laying on me and the fact that the friend's mother took it upon herself to say that I shouldn't be wearing that while I'm sitting outside, I am still very hot under the collar about that one. And the fact that she literally waited until today to tell me that her mother said something about the way I was dressed yesterday pisses me the fuck off. Like I said, this video is gonna be one where I'm just pissed the fuck off and I don't give a flying rat's ass. I have since unfollowed the friend's mother, or unsubscribed from the friend's mother's YouTube channel. No, I'm not gonna drop it in my video because it's nobody's business but her own. Not only have I unsubscribed from that channel, I have gone into my settings and I've prevented that specific channel from finding me and looking at my YouTube. I've also gone and done the same thing for the friend's daughter's YouTube channel. I was just, curiosity got the better of me the one day, so I just looked up the friend's daughter on YouTube, and lo and behold, I found her YouTube channel, which I did make her mother aware of. I said, oh, here you go. If you're ever kind of curious to know what your daughter is up to, I almost name dropped there. I don't want to do that. Not with her daughter. If you're ever curious to know what she's up to, here's her YouTube channel. I've also taken, but I never subscribed to it. I've taken it upon myself to make sure that her channel can't see anything that I post. I have also on Facebook, I have gone ahead and I have essentially I've taken a break from her mom because I do have both her and her mom as friends on Facebook. Now, I think once we leave South Carolina and we get the car paid off, fully paid off, not fully paid off as in we're having to pay back the company from where we've got the car, but paid off as in we have to give the friend's mom back her money, which we're doing. Then at that point, then I will completely unfriend the mother on Facebook and Instagram. Actually, I may get rid of their Instagrams before we leave. I don't know. The mother for sure, not so much the friend yet, but the mother definitely. At least on Instagram. I'll wait till after the car is paid back before I completely unfriend her on Facebook. But essentially, as soon as we leave South Carolina and are back in Illinois, we're done. We are done with both of them. Because they've both taken it upon themselves to essentially treat us like crap. Try to say that we're taking advantage of a certain person and we're not. The friend's mom has hit a very sore spot with me recently because she literally went and told her daughter that she doesn't believe that I actually have cerebral palsy and that I actually have epilepsy. And yes, I know I need to do my underarms. I'm planning on showering tonight and taking Naradoam again. So I don't want any comments about that. I was just stretching. But yeah, you don't get to sit there and dictate what somebody can and cannot wear on their body. You don't get to sit there and dictate what somebody can and cannot watch on their own phone or tablet or computer. You don't get to sit there and say whether or not somebody can drink a certain type of beverage, like a soda. Like, literally, it's carbonated. It's flavored carbonated water. And that is all that anybody has been drinking since we've been here, aside from the couple of times that we did get Sprite or a Pepsi, or the few times that my husband does go and get ginger ale, or in the mornings when I have coffee, or Kaylee has a juice, what have you. Other than that, we've all been drinking carbonated water. Because she tries to dictate what we can and cannot eat, what we can and cannot drink, how late we can and cannot stay up, what we can and cannot wear, the types of things that we can and cannot watch on our phones, what we can and cannot listen to on our phones. It's becoming a complete dictatorship, and I'm not going to stand for it. I don't care. I don't restrict you in who you can and cannot talk to, which you've told me before that the elders of your religious sect would not approve of the fact that you are a single lady and you're reaching out to single men on WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, and talking to them. I think I am going to go ahead and do a separate video where I go into more detail as to who this friend is. Because a lot of my frustration over the past couple of days, like literally I counted, I have uploaded, this is now video number 3. This and the one previous to this, or it was supposed to be one video, but I paused the first part of this so I could figure out how old my father-in-law and brother-in-law would have been had they still been alive this year. So this and the video right before this are one video, so that's video number 3. So the fact that I have recorded 3 different videos in the time span of three days, it tells you how hot under the collar I really, 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 really am about this entire hot motherfucking mess of a goddamn motherfucking situation. And yeah, I'm swearing. I don't care. I'm 39 years old. Like I've said in previous videos, if you don't like it, you don't gotta watch the video. Get over it. Until then, I will see you in that secondary video. I'm not sure when that secondary video is going to be recorded and posted, but it will happen. So just bear with me. Because in that video, I will go into who this friend is, how exactly the friend and I met, how she and my husband actually met, because I do know that story, the different types of medical issues that this friend has going on, as well as I may even disclose the medications that the friend takes. We'll see. But I am going to basically blow this shit wide open because I am tired of just referring to this person as the friend of 15 years or the ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance. Because while she is the ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance of my husband, she is very quickly becoming somebody that I do not consider to be a friend anymore, because the stuff that she is doing, a friend would not do. So until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.